welcome back to my art channel. My name is Sarah Cools, and if you haven't been here before, basically I just make art videos that are hopefully aesthetic and interesting. Today's video, I'm going to show you guys an in-depth look at one of my messiest sketchbooks. So it's kind of scary, but I hope you enjoy getting to see some of the before and afters of messy sketches turned to illustrations, and just seeing inside my thought process of how I create art, which is not always linear, and it's certainly not always refined or pretty all the way through. So let's get right into it. Here is my sketchbook, and this was actually a demo book I had done. I wanted to make some sketchbooks, which I didn't end up doing, but this was the demo for that. And the paper was basically just normal white, semi-smooth copier paper, I think, which I loved. I love having a smooth paper to work on. And you'll see a lot of these illustrations or drawing sketches, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, that I did. They're mostly done in pen, which was on purpose. I remember watching some other artists or reading something that was basically saying using a pen is a great way to help push your art, because once you put that down, you're not going to be able to erase it, and so you have to think about your lines and your structure more than you would with just a normal pencil. And I really think it did help improve. These two pictures, so the one on the left I did with a ballpoint pen, and I really hated the way it looked, and it made me very discouraged, but I decided to try again, and a couple minutes later I used a micron pen for the one on the right, and it turned out so much better. So if ever you're struggling and you're feeling like your art is just not turning out the way you want it to, maybe try mixing up your medium, and try something else, like try colored pencils instead of pens, or paint instead of ink. Mix things up and see how you improve. The pictures on the right here are some of my favorite sketches I've done. A friend of mine took my husband and I's engagement photos, and I ended up going back and sketching them, and they're just so sweet. I really love that. So there's lots of different pictures in here, random scribbles. My husband even drew a picture in here. I make everybody who draws in my book sign their name. This was a little comic I did when I had terrible art block and I was flying on a plane, and I decided I would draw what I was feeling. So I never actually ended up finishing it, but it was a useful little thing. And there's just a lot of really random, some kind of awkward drawings. But whatever I was feeling at the time, if I had an idea come to me, at 3 a.m. in the morning, I'd put that down, or just jotting down whatever came to mind, doing some practice sketches of different concepts, different areas that I needed to work on, whether that be animals or eyes, or doing like gesture drawings, whatever. And it was super helpful. I tried to make it a point to make art every day and just at least do some sort of small drawing, and I think when I did that, my art improved immensely, and I wish I was still in that habit. Unfortunately, I've really gotten out of that in this last year, but I highly recommend A, drawing every single day, and B, using a pen, and just grab like a cheap ballpoint pen and do some sketches or blind contours or just anything with that. It is so helpful. I cannot emphasize it enough, of just pushing yourself and making bad art in order to make better art, in order to make amazing art. So I know a lot of sketchbook tours on YouTube are of these beautiful, super aesthetic sketchbooks where every single page is just gorgeous, and that is not what this is. And maybe someday in the far future, I'll do another sketchbook tour of a sketchbook like this. But I guess my main takeaway that I want you to get from watching this is that it's really important to have some almost kind of secret sketchbook where you can just pour out all those random thoughts that you get, where you can practice your skills, where you can just be yourself and not be afraid that people are going to see it, because you can just, this can be just for you, just for your personal growth, for your own planning and concepts, and that you can have that freedom to do whatever you want and not be judged and not have to worry about it looking perfect. There's so much creative freedom in allowing yourself to be imperfect, and that's something that I'm really trying to work on mentally, and getting in that mindset of being okay with things not being perfect, because that's hard. I think I definitely have some perfectionistic traits in me, even though I do love things that are looser and simpler and stuff. But even still, I can be tempted to try to be perfect, or at least be seen as perfect. So it was a huge relief, takes a great weight off when you let go of that and just do art for fun and get those ideas out of your head so they're not taking up space. And you can come back to them later and then turn them into illustrations like these, which I'm so glad that I was able to make so many different pieces of art through the last couple years and see it improve and go from sketches to illustrations. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I try to post every Wednesday, so come back for more, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and have an amazing week. Bye.